Hey guys, welcome back to our latest tip and hint for today. And today I'm out of town at my wife's parents' for Thanksgiving, so it's very appropriate today that we're going to talk about tips and hints to keep you in shape during the holidays. I have a number of things written down that I wanted to share with you that have really helped me in the past, that have helped several of our clients. So I'm just going to share with you some of those tips, so hopefully it will help you. Now, tip number one, the most important thing to realize for most of us is that during the holidays, your goal should be to maintain. Now, I definitely encourage some of you and appreciate many of you who are going to lose during the holidays, but the thing that we want to avoid is to gain. So at the very minimum, let's try to maintain during the holidays. Let's have the goal and focus to maintain. Don't necessarily feel like you've got to lose a whole lot, and definitely don't succumb to the thoughts of just giving up and thinking that you're going to gain. Let's just maintain during the holidays. So, how do we maintain? Number one, it's to be aware. Now, for those of you who are with us at yourvirtualfitness.com or even follow us, you will know the importance that we put in monitoring calories, calorie management, calories in versus calories out. So if you're not monitoring your calories, step one is to start monitoring your calories. So be aware of what you're doing. Be aware, first of all, of how many calories you're supposed to be taking in, how many calories you burn. So if we're to maintain our weight, then by maintaining our weight, we're simply taking in the amount of calories that we burn. Now, another thing to keep into consideration is, let's say on the average you burn 2,500 calories. Over 4 days, that's 10,000 calories that you burn. So if you have a Thanksgiving or a Christmas or a New Year's, perhaps, that's above 2,500 calories, you have to be aware, know how many calories you've consumed, know how many calories you're burning. So let's say, for instance, it gets above 2,500 calories in a particular day. You then make the appropriate adjustments on the other days to reduce your calories so that overall it gets to 10,000 calories over those 4 days or whatever your day may be. Tip number two is to track what you eat or ate. So I know this is a pain, but it's like, well, if we're saying you need to be aware and you're just kind of eating and you're not sure exactly what you're consuming, then I'm not saying that you need to limit what you're doing on holidays. What I am saying is, let's be aware of what you're consuming. So if you maybe even just write it down real quickly, I ate maybe a cup of dressing or a cup of mashed potatoes or so much turkey. Don't really weigh it out, just guesstimate it. Then go into your food logging and figure out, okay, Thanksgiving meal or the leftovers for the following meal, I ate approximately this amount of calories during the day. So, you know, track how many calories you eat for these big meals, because tip number three is learn from what you did. So don't just blindlessly eat. Track what you eat. Look at how many calories a typical Thanksgiving meal is or a Christmas meal is, and then learn from that. You know, we're not telling you that you should decrease what you're eating. I'm just saying, you know, if we're aware of what we're doing, if we're at least eating or consuming what we're burning over a 4 or 5 day period, if you happen to have a Christmas meal, Thanksgiving meal that's way above what you probably should, learn from that and look at maybe where you can decrease it a little bit but still enjoy all the foods that you want to enjoy. Another tip, I guess tip number four, I guess we're honest, exercise more. If you eat more during the holidays, if you eat more during a Thanksgiving meal, a Christmas meal, whatever it may be, if we're talking about calorie management, calorie balance, and let's say, for instance, we use that example of burning 2,500 calories, perhaps if you want to eat more than 2,500 calories, perhaps you need to exercise more. Maybe you need to take an extra exercise class, do a couple more weight sessions, go for a walk, get on the treadmill, whatever it may be. You know, go window shop more on Black Friday where you're, you know, walking extra. The point is if you exercise more, you're going to be expending more calories. Therefore, it's going to allow you to take in more calories during the holiday season, and it will kind of help with that buffer zone for the, you know, weight gain and what we're talking about, maintenance of weight during the holidays. Next point is to just be cautious during your holiday meals of your portion size. Don't limit what you're eating. Don't stay away from the foods that you really enjoy, but maybe limit the portion size. You know, is it really necessary to have the 3, 4, 5 servings of dressing, or could you get by with one serving of dressing that you really like, or your family's famous dish that everyone seems to have? You know, is it really necessary to have multiple dishes, multiple servings, or can you get by with one serving that's in a reasonable size? The other thing that the next point is to consider the up day, down day, alternate day eating, or intermittent fasting. All of those, let's just talk about the intermittent fasting first of all. Intermittent fasting is designed to shrink your window of when you eat, so you're not eating from sunrise to sunset. It's shrinking that window between an 8 to 10 hour period where you're only eating for 8 to 10 hours. Or my favorite is alternate day eating. If you are doing the up day, down day, alternate day eating, you already are going to have a design where Thanksgiving or Christmas is going to be no big deal. It would just be put into your schedule where it's an up day. And if it happens to be more of an up day, no big deal. You can either, you know, exercise more, you could make your next up day a little bit less, but consider doing these alternative type of meal plans, because the cheat meals, the higher calorie days, are already implemented into those plans. I'm looking off my notes here, but the next point I have written down is to relax. The reason why you've made this change in your lifestyle is so that you could prepare yourself for these days. Without days to enjoy yourself, without days, you know, for holidays with family or anything like that, what is the point of doing any of this? The reason why you get yourself in shape is so that you can handle these particular days, because if you have made this a part of your lifestyle, you know that tomorrow you're going to be exercising. Tomorrow you're going to be eating well. So relax, enjoy yourself. Don't worry about it too much, because if it's a part of your lifestyle, you won't be out of shape. Another tip that I have for holidays is to eat a pre-meal. If you eat a small meal before the feast, the likelihood of you feasting, I guess would be a good way to say it, is going to be much reduced. If you have a small meal before you eat, before you go to relatives, before you have the meal at your house, your likelihood of eating huge quantities of high calorically dense foods are going to be much less. The other tip that I would have is to pick about 4 to 6 of your favorite things. So most holiday feasts, they're unlimited amount of different types of food, and most people will select a little bit of this, a little bit of that, taste everything. My recommendation to you is pick 4 of your 6 favorite things, put it on your plate, and limit yourself to 1 plate and 1 small plate for dessert. 1 medium plate for food, 1 medium small plate for dessert, and limit yourself to your 4 to 6 favorite things that are on the dinner plate for the feast, and 1 dessert, or maybe 2 small desserts. The other final tip is, or I got 2 final tips. One is to try to drink water or non-caloric drinks with your meal. A lot of times what's accompanied with many holiday meals is high caloric drinks, whether it's alcoholic drinks, whether it's eggnog, you name it. Most meals are consistent with high calorie drinks. So if you were to drink water, non-caloric teas, any type of drinks, that is going to reduce your overall calorie levels, and you'll actually end up being able to consume more of the holiday foods that you really want. And then finally, or I guess one point that I don't have written down that I just thought about, is try not to pick. Try not to snack. Limit yourself to that meal and don't pick and pick and pick, because it's amazing how quickly the calories will add up that way. And the final thing I want you to do is keep into consideration your goals. Think about your goals. Keep thinking about what you're trying to accomplish, because thinking and being conscious of what you're trying to do is the best way to keep yourself accountable. And also maybe let your family know, let your spouse, whoever it may be, know about your goals. That way it gives you the ability to enjoy yourself that day, to eat what you want to eat, but you're always keeping in consideration your goals. I hope these tips help you for not only for our upcoming Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any holiday that you happen to come about.